Seoul delivered face masks to Korean War veterans in 22 countries in a gesture to thank them for their sacrifice when defending South Korea 7 decades ago. According to the 70th anniversary of the Korean War Commemoration Committee, 1 million masks have been delivered since May, with half of them sent to the U.S., home to most of these heroes.
The year 2020 will mark the 70th anniversary of the start of the Korean War. The Korean War left us with a permanent wound. It is the first and should be the last modern war that must never happen again. There are over 17,000 Australians who served during the Korean War. They sacrificed their life to protect the Republic of Korea. Today, I'm going to interview Milton Hoe, the Australian veteran of the Korean War.
Okay, I would first like to express my deepest gratitude to you, to our hero veterans. If it wasn't your sacrifice, Korea could not have existed. Thank you for providing me your precious time for this interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, my name's Milton Hoe. I'm 89 years of age. Then when I turned 19 years of age, I joined the Navy and I did my training at a base in Melbourne called HMAS Cerberus. We then went to Korea in 1952. At the stage, when I was in Korea in 1952, it was minus 30 degrees and the ship was covered in ice, and I spent just on 12 months in combat over there in Korea, and we were patrolling the islands of Sokdo and Choda. And both those islands were up the north of South Korea, and they were really just opposite Siberia. So that was why the temperature was so cold at that particular time. We also experienced a summer over there as well, which the temperature was in the late 30s or early 40s degrees. In combat, I was in the engine room, and my job in the engine room was to control the steam into the boilers, from the boilers into the engine room, which then operated the propellers. The ice was 7 feet deep, and some of the ice packs were nearly as big as a tennis court. And also underneath the ice, there were reefs, so we had to be very careful that whenever we were moving, that we didn't get stuck on that reef. If we had been stuck on that reef, the enemy then, we wouldn't have nowhere to go, we would have been a sitting target. But as it was, at 4:30 a.m, the morning that we were attacked, North Korea shore batteries, they fired 70 shells at us. Each shell never hit the ship. They went over the bow, over the stern, and along the starboard side and along the port side. The nearest shell that got to the ship hit the anchor buoy, because we were anchored at the time, hit the anchor buoy, so we lost the anchor. So then we returned fire at the North Korean gunnery. We fired back at them, and we fired 150 shells back at them, and then so we destroyed their where they were. But being in the engine room when we did come under attack, and then when we did fire back, I didn't know what was happening being locked in the engine room. They locked you in the engine room. Simple reason was that if a shell had penetrated the engine room, all those in the engine room would have been sacrificed because the water would have came in from where the shell had hit, and that would have flooded the engine room. But being locked in, that would have meant the rest of the ship was still floatable. So all those people in the engine room were sacrificed so the ship would stay afloat. From also my time in South Korea, I've came back from South Korea with post-traumatic stress disorder, which I am on medication for during the night, and I'd wake up screaming and singing out, which would disturb my wife, and then so it would affect her sleeping. And then I would get up the next morning, wake up, and did not remember one thing that happened during that night. It reminds me of the service that I was prepared to serve to save the country of South Korea, and so that they would receive freedom and peace. Well, I pray, I hope and I pray that we don't have another war, because being part of a war, I've seen the complications that can occur from the war. Those that have paid the supreme sacrifice, and I also pray that we have peace and harmony throughout the world. That is what I pray for. The honour that by doing what we did, so that South Korea could have peace, harmony, you know.
한국인으로서 한국전쟁에 대해서 많이 듣긴 했지만 그렇게 중요하게 언제 일어났고 어떤 나라들이 참석을 하였고 그리고 실제 전투가 어땠는지 그런 거를 확실하게 알지 못했는데 이 참전비에 와서 많은 정보들을 읽고 난 뒤에 진짜 우리나라 6.25 전쟁 때 많은 나라들이 참석했고 정말 많은 수의 군인들이 희생을 해주었기에 우리나라가 지금 있을 수 있구나 라는 거를 깨달았습니다.
The Korean War seemingly became a forgotten war for Australians because it seemed so far away from Australian life, and it didn't affect day-to-day life in Australia. So people didn't tend to concern themselves with traumatic events of the war. But as Australia's relationship with South Korea has improved and increased over the last few years, and we're economic trading partners and very good friends, the Australian people have come to recognise their own involvement in the war and the events that happened around 1952 that led to the Korea that is today.
안녕하십니까 여러분, 전 김가혜라고 합니다. 현재 주 멜번 분관에서 전문관으로 일하고 있으며 보훈과 정무 경쟁 등등 열심히 일하고는 있습니다. 도움 필요하시면 언제든지 연락 주십시오. 이게 어떻게 보면 좀 긴 스토리인데요. 제가 이제 저희 영사관에서 매년 참전용사 할아버님들을 위해서 감사의 마음을 표현하고자 위로 행사를 진행합니다. 2018년도에 제가 부임하면서 첫 프로젝트를 이제 보훈 행사 프로젝트를 맡았는데요. 그날 하필 우연찮게도 몸이 편찮으셔서 밀턴 hoe 할아버님께서 참석이 불가능하셔서 전화가 왔는데, 그날 저희가 준비해놓은 감사 선물들이 너무 크게 많아서 제가 어떻게 전달할 수 있는 방법이 없을까 생각하다가 이제 제가 우편으로 보내드렸습니다. 그 계기로 너무 좋아하시는 이제 항상 표현을 많이 해주셔서 전화도 하시고 그렇게 이제 자주 오고 가면서 만나다가 이렇게 친하게 된 계기가 된 것 같지 않아 싶습니다. 네, 자주 연락하면 제가 이제 일 담당이 보훈이다 보니까 여기 Korean War Veteran Association 빅토리아에 있는데요. KVA라고 그중 회장님이신 Mr. 톰 퍼킨슨 할아버님과 그다음에 채플이신 Dr. 브라운 빌 그다음에 또 그 외 등등 여러 할아버님들과 이제 주로 이제 왕래하고 있습니다. 아주 소중하신 분이죠. 그렇지만 제 개인적으로 한편으로는 안타까운 게 이제 한국 전쟁이 다른 전쟁에 비해서 이제 1차 전쟁, 2차 전쟁 이후로 베트남 전쟁 등등 알려지지 않은 전쟁이다 보니까 특히 이제 forgotten war이라고 자주 이제 명시되고 있는 전쟁 중에 하나입니다. 그러면서 제가 개인적으로 또 이제 마음 쓰고 있는 제 이제 직무이기도 하고 할아버님들이 또한 이제 작년부터 돌아가신다는 이제 소식이 자주 들리고 오고 있어요. 그래서 참으로 좀 안타깝고 또한 이제 미싱 인 액션이라고 이제 참전하시다가 돌아가신 분들의 유가족분들이 자주 연락이 오십니다. 그분들에게도 항상 감사의 표를 하고 있고 아주 할아버님들 한 분 한 분 다 소중하신 분입니다.
We lost millions of people from this war, and there were soldiers worldwide who came to save our country. We would not have our peace and harmony if it were not them. People refer to the Korean War as the Forgotten War. However, the time went by really fast and we lost so many of them. This war should not be forgotten because we lost so many precious lives. We should learn from history to not repeat this tragedy. I hope June 25th reminds all of us of their sacrifice and the pain that they had to go through.
I love you too.